We're going to work on an example of a class. So what I came up with was we're going to do a class on a TV. So in this TV we have channels, volumes, and whether it's on or off. Okay. This is a low grade TV type thing in the on here. So what you can do is you can increase the change the channel by moving it up or moving it down. You can set the volume up or down on it, and you can turn it on and off. Those are the basically the things that we can do here. So what we're going to do is create this class, new file here, and put in the INIT and the accessors and the mutators. And then we're also going to need to put in some methods in here so we can um, change the channel by moving the channel up or moving the channel down, and also with the volume up and down. So let's start off here and call it class is going to be called TV. And in our INIT, we need to pass in the channel, the volume, and whether it's on or off. But the thing is that sometimes we won't know what the channel is, or what the volume is, or whether the TV is on or off. So we're going to set default values for those. I don't know if you've been in a hotel lately or in the past, while or not. But I notice every once in a while when we're at a hotel, I turn on the TV and the channel is usually the hotel channel, and the volume is really usually low. And I just reset it to something I want to watch, turn up the volume so I can hear it, turn it off, come back later and turn it back on, and it's back to the same thing. It's kind of like what this is doing here. So our self dot channel will be equal to channel. If we don't pass in a value, then it'll be equal to 1. Self dot volume will be equal to volume, and self dot on off will be equal to on off. Okay. We'll go ahead and do these in as per our um, attributes. So we'll keep we won't do them as all the sets and then all the gets. We'll do the set get for each one as we go down through here. So we do def set on off, and we'll have self, and then power is what's going to be the parameter name that I'm using. So self dot on off is going to be equal to power. Okay. And then our get on off is just going to return self dot on off. Okay, then for our channel, I'm going to do the get first on this because the set's going to be a little bit more complicated here. And the reason it's going to be a little bit more complicated is that we only have so many channels. Okay, this isn't a big or a setup, with like a company where they have thousands of channels or whatever. This particular set is connected up to where it has 120 channels. So we need to make sure that when we set the channel on here, we don't go above 120, and we can't go below 1 because we have no channels in the negatives on this. So it's going to be a little bit different than our typical set or mutator on here. So this time we're going to use an if statement. If, oh, the other thing is we have to make sure that the TV is on. Self.on off. So is it true? Is it on? and we can do it. There's another way we can do this. We can do a 1 less than or equal to self.channel. You can't do this in most languages. Less than or equal to 120. Okay, so that will work in Python. So the channel has to be greater than or equal to 1, less than or equal to 21, and the TV has to be turned on for this to work. Then we would do self.channel will be equal to channel. Else, we will print be sure TV is on and channel is 1 to 120. Okay? Now, the other one that we wanted, I mentioned this. Is that we need to be able to change the station by moving, or the channel, by moving it up and down. So we're going to do a channel up and a channel down. So the channel up is going to be if self.on off, so make sure the TV is turned on, and self.channel is less than 120. If not less than 120, we can't turn it up. Okay? So then we would just do self.channel plus equals 1. Okay? Same thing with the channel down. If self.on off and self.channel is greater than 1, then we can do self.channel minus equals, minus equals 1. Okay? Now, we're going to do the same thing with the volume. So to get the volume, it's just going to be return self.volume. Oops, left my F off of there. And then the other ones are going to be similar to this in that we need to set the volume up and volume down. So set volume, we have self and the volume that we want to set it to. And again, we're going to have to check to make sure volume in this case is between 1 and 7. So we have to make sure, first of all, if self.on off and 1 less than or equal to self.volume, less than or equal to 7. So what this is saying, the TV has to be on and the volume has to be at least 1 . Okay, I'm thinking of this wrong here. Let me make a change. Go back up here. Okay, when we're checking the channel, we're setting it to channel. So it's not, we don't need to know if self.channel is that. We just need to make sure that channel, the one that we're passing in, is greater than or equal to 1, less than or equal to 120 before we set it. And that's the same thing with the volume. I'm glad I caught that. I'm sure some of you caught that also, right? So it's the volume has to be greater than or equal to 1, less than or equal to 7. Okay, so if that's the case, then self.volume would be set equal to volume. Otherwise, we just leave it the way it is. I mean, we could print out a message and, well, let's go ahead and do that. Else, we print out a message. There, okay? So that way we can make sure that they enter the right volume for that when they went to set that. Okay, now we're going to need a volume up and a volume down. So volume up, we have self, and we have, that's the only thing we have, okay, so then here we're going to check to see if self.arn off and self.volume is less than 7, then we can increase it. So self.volume plus equals 1. And the same thing for volume down, so that if self.arn off and self.volume is greater than 0, and I change that up there to the right spelling. Okay, so then self.volume minus equals 1. Okay, last thing we want to do is be able to print all this stuff out, so we would create an str for this. It'd be the easiest way to do it. So I'm going to create this in a variable. I'm going to call it MSG. So it's going to be equal to TV arn question mark plus str self.get arn off then MSG plus equals, we can do \n channel plus str self.get channel. And remember, we're having to do this str in here because a true false is not a string, so we need to convert it into a string. And the same thing with the channels. That the channel and the volume is that they're numeric, so we need to also change those into strings. Okay, and then we just return MSG. That should be our whole class. Probably have a couple errors in there, but we'll see. So I'm going to save this and switch over to my location. I'm just going to call it tv.py. And then I'm going to open up a new window or new file. Windows what they called it in 2000 or version 2.7, and when they switched to version 3, they changed it to new file. So okay, let me okay, come on. There we go. There's our blank one there. So from TV, I'm going to import TV. create a main. So then TV1 is going to be equal to TV. I'm going to print TV1. I'm just going to test that to make sure everything's working, because there is a possibility that, I got something wrong in here, and it's not going to work right. So this is going to be, there's the first thing I've got wrong, and I'll fix that in a minute. I got uppercase TV for my file name here, and it needs to be lowercase, or it won't work right. So the file name for this is going to be TV test.py. So I'm going to go to my folder and change that to a lowercase TV here for the file name, because if I don't do that, it'll get confused between their uppercase TV and lowercase TV for the file and the class there. So because I got lowercase here, that's what I need for that to be. So okay, so let's run this. And there, TV ARN is false. The channel 1, whoops, got that mixed up there. Let's go back. Why we do testing. Our TV class here, so in our str, this should be volume here, not channel. Okay, and do a Control S to save that back. Okay, so now I know that that's going to work. The only problem I had with it was that not having that written right for the output. So I'm going to put a bunch more stuff in here. Okay, so I did the print TV. I'm going to do TV1 dot set ARN off to true. TV1 dot set volume to 5. TV1 dot set channel to 23. Then I'm going to print TV1 again. And I'm going to print a blank line. And since I did this one up here, let me print a blank line after it. And that, okay, so let's test this one out, see as far as we got here, see if all this is working right. Nope, see I got crash there. So I misspelled channel in, that was in my main program, my test program. So get that fixed back again, run it again. So I have the top one, then there's the bottom one that the TV ARN is true, the channel is 23, the volume is 5. Okay, so let's add some more stuff to this. Let's test the gets. So I'm going to do a print TV ARN TV1 dot get ARN off. Print TV1 dot get channel. Whoops, there we go. And print volume TV1 dot get volume. Okay, and I misspelled that. Get the D out of there. There we go. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and put this in here now. So we're going to do a new TV. TV2 equals TV. I'm going to do 45, 6, and true. TV2 dot channel up. TV2 dot channel up again. TV2 dot, whoops, no capital on that. Channel down. TV2 dot volume up. TV2 dot volume up, volume down, and then print TV2, sorry, there we go. Okay, so the big thing on here is a couple things is channel up, that's going to be up to 47, the channel down, take it down to 46. The volume up is going to go to 7. 7 is the highest it can go, so this volume up won't work. We should get that error message on that. So then we take the volume down, which should then go back down to 6 when we print it. Let's see how much of this works here. Error. Okay, so that's misspelled again in here. Channel right there. Okay, try it again. So, TV on, true. Channel 23, volume 5. Okay, then we do it again. Channel on, true. Or TV on, true. Channel is now 46, which we changed it. Volume is 6, which is what happened with that. So all that seemed to work. So run through this, see what you think. Did some a few things different on here with the methods that actually changed things and did some checking to make sure things were set up right and all that. So, but there's an example for you. So if you have any questions, let me know, and we'll talk about this stuff. Okay, that ends the chapter completely now, and so the next set of lectures are going to be over chapter 2.